Here at AU Bright Smiles Dental, we are mindful of the high character of our mission and the responsibility we incur in providing professional dental services. Medical ethics require that healthcare professionals must treat to the best of our ability all persons seeking our medical attention without discrimination and without prejudice based on the origin or nature of the patient's illness, including HIV or AIDS. Here at AU Bright Smiles Dental, we understand that the ability to control one's information has value, even in the absence of any shameful or embarrassing circumstances. At AU Bright Smiles Dental, we are aware that medical records can include some of the most intimate details about a person's life. Medical records can document a patient's physical and mental health, but can also include information on social behaviors, personal relationships, and sometimes even financial status. In cooperation with HIPAA standards, AU Bright Smiles Dental provides patients with access to their medical records and with significant control over how their personal health information is used and disclosed. For any patients with HIV or AIDS or any other communicable disease, we provide a confidentiality statement that states, "You as the patient have the right to inquire how information about your HIV status will be recorded in your records." For example, is that information written in a patient's file, or is it just a verbal conversation between the patient and the physician or dentist? Or is it documented via an electronic health record? Here at AU Bright Smiles Dental, we only keep written patient records at this time. Patients also have the right to ask whether the information will be coded or not, and if it's coded, will it be easily visible or coded discreetly? The statement also states that as a patient, you have the right to know who in the practice will know your medical status. For example, will it just be the dentist? Will it be the dentist and his assistant? Will it be all clinical staff or office staff included? Patients with HIV or AIDS and other communicable diseases may have complex healthcare needs and sometimes require complicated and expensive medical treatments. These complex care needs could require the involvement of multiple providers and other members of a healthcare team, and therefore this information is documented on a patient's file. At AU Bright Smiles Dental, a single sticker on the outside cover alerts our team members to look on the inside of the file for more pertinent information regarding allergies, medications, clinical conditions, and other issues that can affect dental treatment. For those patients with HIV or AIDS and other communicable diseases, we post a sticker on the outside of the folder labeling the disease, as well as a sticker identifying the first letter of their last name and date of birth. No other identifying information is listed on the file. Because no information leading to the identity of the patient is available on the outside of the patient's file, then no other patients have a way of knowing whose file is whose. Since there is no information that could identify the patient, then we are still protecting patients' privacy. Here at AU Bright Smiles Dental, we do not allow patient files to be taken into the room. Patient files are located behind a receptionist's desk, and authorized personnel must go to behind the reception desk to review that information. Patient files are not left outside of the room until the patient is seen. All staff members have been thoroughly educated about confidentiality and HIV. In order to protect office workers who may come in contact with the patient, it is imperative that patient files be labeled as AIDS and such on the front. We also label the files to ensure that extra care is provided because there is a greater risk of needle stick injury in the dental office. Confidentiality means that personal information is kept private and may not be shared without a patient's permission. All medical records are kept behind the receptionist's desk and not out for patient's review to protect patient confidentiality. Here at AU Bright Smiles Dental, We take reasonable measures to protect patients' personal information from risk of unauthorized access, use, disclosure, and disposal. We also have several policies in place for individuals that violate those procedures. All patient records are stored securely within the clinic. It is our policy to never leave hard copies of forms or records where unauthorized persons may gain access to them. To ensure that we do not have issues like this in the future, we have designated a locked room to hold patient records. All personnel involved in the actual treatment of patients has access to this room. Each of these individuals also has a specific code that allows them to enter the room and also allows us to track the access to this area.